Willie P, take it away.
Good evening, Zoran. Thank you for taking some time with us. Appreciate it. What was behind the motivation to go up to number one and get Hamady there at that selection?
Hey guys, good to see you all. Well, motivation is something we've talked for a long time. We wanted to have a flexibility in building this club, and we wanted to be able to have always a means, in this case, the GAM money, to kind of strike and jump into the deals that we think are worth securing for the club. And we thought that this year the draft had some interesting players that we liked as a talented players, but also we liked as something that we're missing in our squad that we'll be able to develop. So we looked at options, and we thought that we wanted to trade as high up as possible, and we managed to get a trade with St. Louis. So that was a kind of sweet deal for us. I think it's made a lot of sense. We really liked Hamady. We tracked him. We talked to him a lot. We think he's a perfect replacement or add-on, really, not replacement for the left back and left central defender that you might know that we've been looking for some time, and so it made a lot of sense to us.
Where do you think he ideally fits best with your guys' game model? Do you think it's at center back or at fullback?
One of the attractions is that he has this versatility that is so interesting in a modern soccer, and so I think he can play in both positions. I think also we have a coaching staff that can make him better, improve his game. I also think his native language. He's actually Senegalese, but considering that Senegal it was an ex-French colony, everyone speaks French. So Chris Latancio speaks perfect French. We have also Dilson Malanda on the right as a French-speaking central defender. So kind of pairing them together would make sense a lot to us.
Well, thank you.
All right, Tom.
Thanks, Woody. Thanks for the time, Zoran. I guess Tom, what were those talks like with St. Louis? Because I know obviously DC United ended up trading their pick as well. There wasn't kind of a clear number one in this draft. So what were the talks like to move up to either number two, number one, or wherever you guys were talking?
That's the usual talks. We talked to DC as well. We talked to a few other. But for us was always, we really knew who we wanted, and it was always the most important thing to secure that player, which was Diop. So it was kind of once we had a chance to get the first pick, it made a lot of sense to us. We wanted to be in control of the choice, and the first pick gives you that. In addition to that, first pick gives you a bit of a kind of PR and gives you a little bit of sending a message how ambitious this club is, and that we wanna try to kind of improve the club this year. And it's part of what we talked a lot last season. Is building the club is a process. It's not a one season thing. It's going to happen over the seasons, and this is just one of these things. He's a 20 years old, actually versatile defender with a speed, with physique, with also willingness to learn, and we think we can improve him.
Thank you.
All right, Mike.
Thanks very much. Good evening, Zoran. Congratulations on the number one overall pick. At the risk of sounding like we're putting too much pressure on Hamady, does he have the makeup and the mentality and the skill set that he can be a cornerstone for you guys at that position?
The simple answer is not yet. I think he has a character. We like his character. We talk to him. We spend a lot of time talking to him and talking to a lot of other players. We actually take the SuperDraft very, very seriously. We have probably had about 7-8 people, the coaching staff, the scouting staff at Combine. So we spend a lot of time. We also have a close relationship with Clemson University, as you know from the previous years. We have already a couple of players there. So we knew everything about the player. We knew him from the last season. I think he's improved. There are a lot of areas of his game that can be improved. But I think he's a player who is willing to learn. I think he's a player who will be a little bit like a sponge, getting everything that he's been told. And Cristo Tanzio and his team are the type of coaches who like to develop young players. So the coaches are also excited about him. They know him, and they're excited to kind of develop him to really be a cornerstone of the team. He's only 20 years old, so it's a plenty of improvement ahead.
And if I could follow up, can you kind of give us the details on how you now have made selections at 1 and 12 when you entered the day with the 20th overall pick? What did the 12th pick cost you in terms of the trade? I haven't seen any details on that, and apologies if that's been sent out.
It costed us a 50,000 in GAM guaranteed, and the first round pick next season, which we think we are going to be very low, hopefully.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Steve.
Hi, Zoran. With that number 12 pick with Patrick Aubameyang, what do you like about him, and what do you feel he'll offer to the offense next season?
We actually did not believe that he will be available at the 12th pick, and it's one of these great stories of the SuperDraft that every year you have someone who you think is not going to happen, and it happens. So once we actually hit the number 10 pick and we start realizing that he is still available, then we basically jumped on a call and tried to get the deal done. I think he's physical, he's strong, and he's fast. He's very, very fast. He had the best results at Combine, and we like those kind of physical, athletic attributes that he has. So he would still need a lot improvement, of course, but we think it's someone that is very, very interesting for us to work on. So one of the things is for example, Jose Tavares, who you guys know, that came from Porto and Porto B and developed a lot of talent in the last 12 years working in Porto. He was especially excited about him and kept pushing that potentially we can even try to get him earlier. So it's just a kind of confirmation that everyone was involved in this draft pick, potentially even more so than last year. And I think Patrick is someone that would bring the physicality, the speed that we might be lacking at this moment up front.
Will he take an international spot as well?
No, Patrick is not. But he's a domestic. He's a USA born.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, a couple more. Alex.
Hi, Zoran. Good to see you.
Hey, Alex.
So this has been, you promised going into the offseason that y'all were going to spend money, that y'all were going to make splashes. And I'm just curious, is tonight the punctuation mark of this transformative offseason, or are there still moves that Charlotte FC will make this offseason?
Well, if you want to put punctuation mark as a start of the preseason, yes, it's a start of things happening. It's definitely not the end, so it's just the very beginning of the things that will happen.
Got it. This is unrelated. Well, I'll save my next question for another time. Sorry. Thanks.
Thanks, Alex. Jorge?
Hey, Zoran, with the picks that you made tonight, are both of these guys looking to go into the first team or MLS Next Pro team? What is the thought behind the process of developing them?
I think the both will go into first team, and then we'll make the full assessment at the end of the preseason. But I think right now they would both be around the first team and part of the first team.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll end it with Caleb.
Hey, Zoran, good to see you.
Hey, Caleb.
Just wanted to kind of relate this with MLS X Pro. Has having the ability to rely on MLS X Pro, my question is, how does MLS X Pro affect or influence this year's draft in any way, knowing that you can, at worst case scenario, play these players or keep these players
and still underneath the umbrella of the club. That makes
Well,
sense.
huge. I think it's huge. It really helps us because last season you take the player and you think, right, if it for any reason is not kind of getting into first 20, then you be practically killing career of the player. And there might be a lot of potential talents there who need to play and need to develop that way. So now what MLS Next Pro gives us is an ability for these players to kind of train with the first team. But if they're not getting a playing minutes, they can actually go and play 90 minutes for MLS Next Pro. And so that's for us, it's crucial. I think it's very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time, Zoran. We'll let you get back to the draft room and see what the rest of the night has in store.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.